Some dog breed names are unique, and each one has a story to tell, most often about where the breed originated or about certain features that make the breed stand out. For instance, names like the German Shepherd or the Australian Cattle Dog give a pretty good idea of where the dogs come from and what they're mainly used for. However, every once in a while, you may hear of a breed whose name leaves you with more questions than answers. In this video today, we're covering 10 dog breeds with the most unusual names, while also providing some insight into how these canines ended up with these odd monikers. These names might be hard to pronounce, but they are a true testament to the rich history and cultural heritage of these breeds. So whether you're a dog lover or just curious about these unusual names, stick around and join us on this exciting adventure. Number 10. Treeing Tennessee Brindle. Hunting dogs often employ a range of tactics like coursing, flushing, retrieving, and pointing. One such method of hunting is treeing, where dogs help hunters by chasing animals, forcing them to take refuge in a tree. The dog then prevents the animal from leaving by ceaselessly barking at them from the foot of the tree until the hunter comes along. This method of hunting is particularly used with coonhounds, although one treeing breed stands out for their brindle coat, strong scenting ability, and versatility. We're talking about none other than the treeing Tennessee Brindle, descendant of the old brindle cur dog. Reverend Earl Phillips became aware of the existence of brindle curs in the early 1960s because of a column he was writing in a hunting dog magazine. He discovered that these dogs were highly prized for their hunting and treeing abilities, along with their brown, tiger-striped coats. Phillips reached out to owners and fanciers with the intent of preserving and promoting this brindle cur, and in 1967, the Treeing Tennessee Brindle Breeders Association was formed, coining a name for the breed at the same time. Number 9. Peruvian Inca Orchid. With a name that sounds like an ancient exotic flower, in the 9th place is the Peruvian Inca Orchid, also known as the Peruvian hairless dog. The breed's first appearance is believed to be in pottery from Most civilization, dating back to 750 AD, making these dogs one of the oldest breeds around. They were also kept as companions by several other civilizations, including Peruvian and Incan tribes. The dogs are native to Peru and have been officially recognized as part of the country's cultural heritage since 2001. While that may explain the Peruvian Inca part of their name. Now, why were they named after a flower, you may ask? Well, a common theory is that the Spanish, after conquering Peru, named these dogs Perros Flora, which translates to flower dog, because they were found near caves with wild orchids. In 1966, when American breeder Jack Walklin visited Peru, he brought back 8 of these dogs and is credited with giving them the name Peruvian Inca Orchid. Number 8. Petit, Basset, Griffon, Vendéen. While their name might sound like one of royalty or nobility that you'd find somewhere in a history book, if you break it down into individual words and translate them from French, you quickly realize that the Petit, Basset, Griffon, Vendéen is just a scent hound with a massive name, like their tiny frame. The Vendéen in their name reflects the breed's origins in the Vendée region of France, while Petit shows how they're smaller compared to other Basset dogs, which are a subtype of scent hound characterized by their short legs. Griffon, on the other hand, refers to the breed's rough, wire-haired coat, which was purposefully bred for protection from the harsh environment of the dense underbrush of coastal France. A justification for the breed's name does not make it any less of a mouthful though, so these dogs are often referred to as BBGVs, Petits, Griffons, or Ruffies. However, they once went by the name Basset Griffon Franche when their official breed standard was first adopted in 1898. It wasn't until 1909 that the standard was rewritten and the current name was adopted to differentiate the dogs from their larger variants, the Grand Basset Griffon Vendéen. Number 7. Pekingese. Many Chinese breeds tend to have leonine traits, such as blunt muzzles and heavy head furnishings. It is believed that these breeds were developed in this way by devout Buddhist monks, as lions are a central figure in Buddhism, symbolizing strength and protection. This includes dogs like the Lhasa Apso, the Tibetan Mastiff, and the Pekingese. Also commonly known as just Pek, these dogs are named after China's capital city of Peking, known today as Beijing. The breed got its name during the height of the Second Opium War in 1860, when British soldiers who invaded the imperial palace in Peking found 5 Pekingese dogs guarding the body of their mistress, who had committed suicide rather than face capture. The dogs became prizes of war and were taken to England, where they were presented to nobles, including Queen Victoria, who named her Pekingese Luti. Number 6. Komondor. With an appearance that is equally as unusual as their name, at number 6, we have the Komondor. Also known as the Hungarian sheepdog, the Komondor has gained a reputation for looking like a mop on 4 legs, earning them the moniker mob dogs. They were brought to Hungary sometime in the 12th and 13th century by the Cumans, a group of nomadic people who were absorbed into Hungarian culture around the same time. The name Komondor pays homage to the Cumans, as it is derived from the name Komondor, meaning belonging to the Cumans or the dogs of the Cumans. Their appearance definitely manages to turn a few heads as well, but as sheepdogs, their white-coated cloaks allowed them to blend in with their flocks and remain unseen by predators until it was too late. This gave the Komondor a special advantage in their job. Number 5. Schipperke. Lively, intense, and a little mischievous. The Schipperke has been aptly nicknamed the Little Black Devil. The breed was developed in Belgium in the 1600s to be a small watchdog. They were often seen guarding boats that traveled on canals. This is believed to be the reason these little guys came to be known as Schipperkes, as the name simply means little boatman or little captain in Flemish language. However, guard duty wasn't their primary function, as their main job was to work as a sheepdog, leading to the theory that their name actually comes from the word skipper, which translates to little shepherd. Before the name Schipperke was officially taken in 1888, these little guys were also known as Spitz or Spitzki, both of which are names that are commonly used to describe a small dog with pointed ears. Number 4. Azawakh. With a name straight out of a myth or fable, an ancient origin shrouded in mystery to go along with it, coming in at number 4 is the Azawakh. These slim and elegant looking dogs hail from the illness arid regions of the South Sahara, specifically the Sahelian zone, which includes the countries like Mali, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso. This region encompasses the dry basin of the Azawakh, which translates to the land of the north from the Tuareg word, and it is here that these dogs were traditionally owned by the Tuareg people. They originally went by the name of Vendéen. Another common name that these dogs have gained over the years is the Tuareg Slogi, as both breeds have been companions for the nomads of the South Sahara for hundreds of years and are closely related as a result. In 1980, however, the breed became recognized solely as Azawakhs. Number 3. Schapendoes. While the name Schapendoes might leave you puzzled about what kind of dogs we're talking about, there are other names like the Netherlands Schapendoes or the Dutch sheepdog would probably do a better job at that. Yep, these guys hail from the Netherlands and were employed primarily as sheep-herding dogs ever since they were first developed several centuries ago. By the 19th century, Schapendoes had grown extremely popular for their tireless work ethic and their high intelligence. Over time, however, their popularity began to dwindle as farmers chose to import Border Collies instead, and the Second World War dealt a huge blow on their numbers, like that of many other European breeds. Fortunately, in 1947, PMC Topol, Dutch inspector, roused people's interest back into the sheep-herding breed, bringing the dogs back from near extinction. Subsequently, the breed club was founded in 1947, which is when the name Schapendoes, which literally means Dutch sheepdog, was officialized. Number 2. Kooikerhondje. Second on this list is yet another Dutch breed known for having a name that's hard to read out loud, that being the Kooikerhondje. Also commonly known as the Dutch Spaniel, the Dutch Decoy Spaniel, or just the Kooiker. The Kooikerhondje is a small spaniel dog who was developed in the Netherlands sometime before the 16th century. They were used in duck hunting to lure ducks into traps where hunters were known as Kooiker could easily catch the fowl. This earned the dogs the name Kooikerhondje, which loosely translates to duck catcher's small dog. Like many European breeds, the Kooiker also suffered greatly during the Second World War and almost went extinct. However, thanks to the efforts of Baroness von Handerbroek van Amerstal, the breed was preserved. The Dutch Parent Club was organized in 1967, and the breed was officially recognized by the Raad van Beheer, the Dutch equivalent of the AKC, in 1971. Now, before we get on to number 1, here are a few breeds that didn't make it to the list that have names that are just as unusual and sure to leave you puzzled as well. Coton de Tullier, Charneco de Latna, Wiesla, Belgian Lekanoy, Portuguese Podengo. At number 1, Xoloitzcuintli. Finally at number 1, with a name that you're sure to have pronounced wrong if it's your first time reading it, is the Xoloitzcuintli. Saying the name each time you're referring to the breed is a daunting task in and of itself, so saying just Xolo is a common alternative. These guys were kept around by ancient Mexican tribes like the Mayan and the Toltec, as they played a significant role in their myths and beliefs. In fact, Xolos were often sacrificed and then buried with their owners to act as guides to the soul on its journey to the underworld, which was believed to be a perilous trip. As a result, they were associated with the Aztec deity Xolotl, the god of fire and the escort of the dead, while Escuintli was the Aztec word for dog. This is how the name came to be. They are usually hairless dogs, although there is also a coated variety who's totally covered in fur. Hairless cholos are known by the name Perro Pelon Mexicano, or Mexican hairless dog. Alright folks, that marks the end of our list of top 10 dog breeds with the most unusual names. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to learn more about any of these dogs in particular, do check out our channel to see the top 10 facts about each of the breed we mentioned in the video. Which one of these dog breeds do you think has the most unique name? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.